Hello everyone, how you guys doing? Hopefully you guys are having a wonderful day. Today we are here with a video on the Summer Summit for Old School RuneScape. Jagex announced recently that they were going to host the Summer Summit, essentially an event that is going to allow them to do what they kind of do at Runefest every year, except we don't have Runefest this year, so they are going to just talk about some things that they have planned throughout the year. They also mentioned in the blog post that they were hoping to do this twice a year instead of the normal once per year, hopefully to just stay a little bit more in touch and more realistic in what's coming down the pipeline. And so I think this will allow Jagex to set some more reasonable expectations, and the community won't have such absurd expectations in terms of content that will come out. Hopefully it'll be some good stuff. The stream is about to start in a second, so I'm going to tune in and see what all is in store. Over on the stream right now, it looks like it will begin here in a couple of minutes. Excited to see what is in store. I know from last year, a lot of people's main focus that still hasn't come out is Group Ironman, so I'm excited to see how that's going to play a role into this. I'd imagine it will. Beyond that, Raids 3 has been speculated. I've seen a lot of people throwing question marks out there for that, so we'll see if that's in the works. Again, this is going to be a bi-yearly thing in Jagex's words, so they might not put anything that crazy out here. Personally, I don't know what to expect. I'm going to go in with lower expectations just because, again, this is a 6-month process instead of a year process, so we'll see how that kind of works out, but it'll be interesting to see. I'm excited. If you guys like this type of video, I'll do more of them in the future. I'll have to read comments and see what you guys think, but I'd love to hear down below. Uh-oh.
Hello and welcome to Old School RuneScape Summer Summit. Whoa!
Oh yeah!
Woo! So firstly, right now, you can get 7 days of membership when you link your RuneScape account and Prime Gaming accounts. That offer is live until 24th of August.
You heard it here first, boys. Get your Prime.
Also in the Twitch chat too, and if you're in the Twitch chat, please be nice. I can see a whole roster of JMods.
Please be nice. Who says that to the Twitch chat? I honestly, I think it's bait, so it might be good.
Hearts and smiley faces in this.
Did somebody say dead man?
Uh-oh.
Oh, they did!
It's one of the most competitive tournaments so far.
I imagine that at the moment it's a lot of panic.
Can he get the hit in just before he dies?
Their names are going to go down in history.
Alright, I'm really excited. Let's see this. What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Thanks, Aiza. The most prominent feature that's coming to Deadman this time round is a 3-life system. Now, that's exactly as it sounds. When you spawn into the game, you will have 3 lives. Don't worry for the first 2, though. They will act exactly like a previous Deadman mode death. You will lose the items which you are not protecting. They go to the other PKer, along with a bank key containing the top 10 most valuable items. On your final death, though, that's where things get interesting. You will lose all of your combat experience and 10% of your skilling experience. Don't worry, you keep your questing your quest progress. That's pretty important.
So we are going to make another change with Deadman Reborn, which is the introduction of combat level brackets. Now these combat level brackets will essentially act as a barrier to prevent higher level players from being able to essentially stomp the lower levels.
So as far as that goes, I'm pretty excited. I mean, early on I would die in Deadman mode and my first death would be really discouraging and I'd probably quit. So if 3's the limit, obviously, you know, it's a little tough that they're going to reset you the full way, but I do like the high risk, high reward, and especially when you got combat brackets, that's going to definitely help out with that.
Taking heavy inspiration from leagues, we're going to be introducing Deadman Sigils. These are going to fundamentally change up your gameplay experience, just like Relics did, and they're going to come in 3 tiers. They're going to affect combat, skilling, and utility.
Alright, that does sound really cool though, as far as the sigils go as well. I know people really like that about the leagues and all of that type of stuff. I don't know how PKers feel about it, but hopefully they enjoy it. I mean, it sounds like a little extra spice, and nothing's wrong with that, I wouldn't imagine.
We don't want to remove the teaming element from Deadman because it does make up a huge part of what makes the game mode so great. But we are looking to make some changes that will help improve the solo player experience. So the first major change that we're making is actually removing single way combat and replacing it with single plus combat, which means that if you are in combat with an NPC, any other player can attack you at any moment in time.
I'm not exactly sure how PKers will feel about that and not being able to box, but in terms of just a raw player experience, it makes a lot of sense. A game mode meant for PKing should be meant for PKing, not boxing random monsters to get away.
In previous iterations, we've seen groups of players form alliances for the final hour, whittling down the opposition until only 256 players remain. This time around, we're scrapping all of that entirely. Instead, we're going to take the top 2,048 players and put them straight into the 1v1 section of the tournament.
Oh my, so they're not even going to mess around with the beginning of all that. That's actually really exciting because I mean the tournament and the 1v1s is really the cool part, and the whole like process before that just kind of feels like filler. And there's, you know, it's really hard to see what's going on during that time as well, so that's really cool.
Okay, so we are aiming to release Deadman Reborn on the 25th of August. If that's going to change, we'll let you know as soon as possible.
25th of August, huh? All right. I mean, that's not very far away, so hopefully that's exciting for people. I mean, not a lot of time to think about what all is going on there, and I guess as far as what they'll release, you know, it'll be yet to be seen, so really putting it all on us, but that's fun.
Cool, first one I've got is, will we get to see all of the sigils before Deadman is released?
No.
That's actually really exciting. The sigils are going to be hidden, so I guess people's prep will be a little off then, but it makes for some good fun whenever it drops. I'm not really sure what people's preferred mods are, but I feel like this is a great trio right here. Like, this is just, I mean, if I could get this every single time, I'd tune in for whatever they'd like to stream. I'll listen to them bam.
You know what? Do me a favor. I gotta figure something out. Just roll the bit we were gonna do, the different types of group Ironman teams. Show them that. Just roll it.
Yeah, day 3 for our group's going all right. I've just done this early game content so many times, I was on autopilot.
We're a little bit behind.
Oh my, a Bodhi appearance. Oh my goodness. Oh boy. All right. Well, Group Ironman, as I was kind of thinking, and as most people I guess were thinking, but hopefully some good signs here. Let's see what they have to say about it. I mean, obviously, you know, nice little bits here. I actually really enjoy the theater of it all, but I'm more intrigued to see when and how it's going to be released. I know that clans were kind of the beginning of that and the foundation of it, so from there it shouldn't be terribly difficult, I don't think.
My arrow keys are just moving the camera. I don't know.
Hurry up!
I'm looking around. I'm flying in circles. WASD isn't bound to walk keys. I can't move. I'm spinning in the camera. Help!
Just click the door.
This actually reminds me of whenever I started playing, which I mean, I think most people maybe. I remember trying to light a fire. It was the worst thing ever. I couldn't figure it out.
All right, yeah. See you there. Group Ironman time. I'm sure everything will go exactly as planned.
Damn, what a cast right there. What a cast. Bunch of cuties up there. Ah, the goat himself. Hello.
Firstly, groups will be between 2 and 5 players. You'll be able to fight monsters together, share your tradable resources with each other, maybe visit each other's player-owned houses.
That looks really fun. 2 to 5 players is a good range. I was wondering kind of what the cap would be on that, but 2 to 5 is really nice. The high scores, I'll be interested to see how those work. I'm guessing it'd be broken down into 2, 3, 4, and 5 person groups, but I'm not sure. They are going to allow Group Ironmen to group up with other Group Ironmen, you know, because people might quit and you might need to get someone else, stuff like that. So you can trade out teams, but you can also have a status if you're a team that has stayed the same since the start, which is really cool.
Group Ironman when?
Early to mid-autumn. Or fall, if you're American and don't understand what autumn is. We don't understand what fall is either, so, you know, it goes both ways.
Oh my, early to mid-fall? So, goodness, I'm excited to hear that. I mean, with how quiet they've been about it, I felt like it was going to be longer, but that's actually so exciting to hear. Personally, I'm not sure if I'm going to participate, and if I do, it'll probably just be in a more fun, casual way. But I think, I mean, overall, everyone's really looking forward to it, so the sooner we get it, the better. It seems like upon leaving a Group Ironman, essentially at the moment, there's 2 options. The first one would be that you have to go and create a new one, essentially, and that you're the leader of a new group and you gotta go out and find your own. Or you're going to just then turn into a main account, and I understand. I think they're probably going to lean more towards the main account thing because it's so tricky, because if you're a Group Ironman and then you turn into another Group Ironman, you know, if you go and start a new group, then you can give away all your items. Or if you're someone that's a low level and joined a group and someone gave you tons of items, then you could leave the group. If instead of being de-ironed, you were just turned to a normal Ironman, then people could go into groups, take items, and then go and be a normal Ironman with those items, which also isn't fair. So it's really hard and really tricky. So I do feel for them on that part.
So it's been about half a year since Trailblazer Worlds closed down, and now it's about that time of the year again where we get to share some exciting news about what we've been working on so far.
This will be fun to take a peek at. Personally, I haven't tried League 1 or 2 because I've been really focused on my main account and then my hardcore, but I mean, this is very exciting. I know a lot of people really enjoy this type of stuff. So, I mean, Deadman mode, Group Iron, and Leagues 3 all in one go. I mean, they're just hitting it all.
In Trailblazer League, we locked players into 5 different regions of the world. We gave them a new set of tasks and a new set of relics, and it was an absolute blast. In Leagues 3, we're letting you have access to the entirety of Gielinor, including Kebos and Kourend. We've also taken relics, a core part of leagues, and taken a brand new approach for this time around. This time around, relics have been shattered into fragments and scattered all across Gielinor. You can think of a fragment as a weaker version of a relic. They each contain a small portion of a relic's power, but when combined can create some truly powerful effects.
Sounds interesting. It seems less binding than the relics of the last Trailblazer League, but it will offer a little something in between. So with leagues, I don't want to get too into the nitty-gritty, but essentially what it seems like is that they're trying to have more of a path and more logical reasoning as to where people are going to go with their accounts, while with the whole Zaya one, it's just a little bit harder to recognize what you need to do. So I feel like that in this one, they're trying to at least guide you a little bit more and maybe restrict some things. That way you don't have endless options.
You must take the fight to AMASCUT before it's too late. In Old School's third raiding dungeon, the Tombs of AMASCUT.
Alright. I mean, I mentioned something about raids 3 at the beginning. I thought maybe desert raids, though. Groups up to 8 upper level for initial challenges, lower level with final 2 or twin boss. Interesting. I mean, as far as raids go, I don't know if at some point there's gonna, like, how many raids are we gonna go to raid 7? Like, I don't know, maybe at some point we just talk about them like their names instead of numbering them, but we'll see. I don't know. I'm really excited to get some good content in the desert, though, because that is very dry of content.
Things like increasing the boss's damage, health, defense, changing around weapon styles, different types of defense values, such as being weak to stab will now be weak to slash. Maybe disabling spellbooks for certain players to be able to make the raid a little more different every single time. Additionally, with invocations, we could even do things such as changing how certain fights completely play out, with either just disabling or re-enabling additional mechanics to the boss fights themselves.
Seems a little weird, but that is kind of what you want out of some late game content. They're basically trying to make it as hard as possible, but also allowing you to choose how difficult that is going to be, so that's interesting. Kind of seems along the lines of Chambers of Xeric, where people scout raids and try for easy stuff or try for harder stuff. At least here, they can scale it and kind of add more control over the game mode.
Before the raid launches, you'll be able to experience the next quest in the desert storyline, Beneath Cursed Sands. In this sequel to Contact, you'll have to investigate some mysterious disappearances from the golden city of Menaphos.
Alright, I mean, that's really exciting, to be honest. I don't know what the rewards are going to be. I think that's going to be more fun to speculate about than kind of everything else that's going on in here, because I really don't know where they're going to go with the rewards, but it'll be interesting to see it. Honestly, I'll be happy no matter almost wherever they go with the rewards, because I do feel like we've essentially made one of everything for the top tier of Old School RuneScape, and we might start to break through into the next tier, and we'll see how that goes with people.
Exciting.
Raids 4, okay, alright, sure.
Slow down, please.
Look, no one does a 4. That's when you go like the Chronicles or something. Like,
Raids 360?
Yeah.
Raids 1?
Exactly. That's what they're alluding to right there. After 3, you gotta mix it up a little bit. This will be an interesting time to see how Jagex goes about third-party clients and just added features and all of that, because it's always been strange whenever they release this new high-tier content, what happens when RuneLight's able to solve it for you the next day or two, you know? Hopefully they'll do a good job at that, but that is the one thing that is a little scary, and I mean, it's always just kind of been something I've been fearful of. I'm not a very big proponent of clients, as you guys are well aware. Really good point made here about apparently there's going to be like 30 or 40 different features that you can change within Raids 3, and with that, basically they're going to allow, you know, even people that probably couldn't do Theater of Blood to be able to get into Raids 3, but on the highest of high ends, it's still going to be insanely hard, so there's a wide spectrum of what Raids 3 can be, and I find that pretty entertaining, because Raids 2, I mean, for me, whenever I was learning it, it was pretty terrible. Theater was pretty awful just because Verzic's so hard and it takes so long to get there, so to have this option is, I feel like, a lot better. They do also mention power creep and talk about how the new range armor is essentially a Darok version of range armor, in the sense that it is better when you're lower HP, and I mean, in general, that is how you have to go about avoiding power creep. I mean, naturally it's going to exist, but you have to manage between adding some niche things, adding some good things, and just keeping that at a balance. You don't want to add too many good things that'll just destroy other things, and you don't want to add too many niche things to the point where the there's just too many of them. So it's always a balance. I don't think there's anything wrong with making a new high tier of stuff as long as it makes sense within the game. Of course, this is old school RuneScape, so you do want to scale it back a bit, but I feel like we've done a pretty good job so far. I mean, we've played this game for 8 years, and I still use bandos whenever I go on my Slayer tasks, so. Alright, well, we've made it to the end of this. We just went through the final little updates that'll be happening, just nothing big, essentially game improvements, client improvements, also talking about potential coin and item syncs and just other quality of life things for the game. So overall, I mean, I thought that this was a spectacular summer summit. I had a great time with it. I think the team did a great job putting this all together, but of course the main gist of it, the content that will be coming in is just, I mean, it did not disappoint as far as what people were wanting. I think this had essentially everything. So that was an awesome time reviewing the Summer Summit. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like. Anything you want to see from me, anything you want to let me know, would love to hear in a comment down below. And if you want to see more videos like this as soon as I go live, make sure to subscribe. Also, I do RuneScape update reactions every single week over on Patreon, so if you want to see more stuff like this, you can go ahead and head on over there. Also supports the channel, and I'd appreciate it greatly. But with that said, hopefully you guys have a wonderful day, and peace.